Hello, this is Gabriel and Icon of the Comfit Global Consulting Inc., a 501c3 for medical, pharmaceutical, and innovative technology. My name is Gabriel and Icon, founder and chairman. Guten Tag, guten Morgen, good night, bonjour, bonsoir, good morning, good evening, good afternoon for people around the world. Shalom, salam for peace. Este Señora Gabriel and Deacon of the Comfit Global Consulting for medical, pharmaceutical, and innovative technology. I would like to make sure that I'm more concise today, that these presentations on YouTube are mostly about my company and my organization. I am working on perspective ideology that I believe will change the stage of the healthcare in the future. I'll be looking up the genome toxicology, the gene expression, to identify the impact any disease have on those genes. The electromagnetic field that our gene release is a field that have a certain intensity that can be measured in Earth, and through that healthy state, that frequency can be recorded, and the only thing we have to do is to find the difference of electrical charge to bring him back to his normal state. What I mean here is that what makes us sick is the toxins. What makes us sick are foreign items that are in your body. When you eat, you get sick. You don't get sick because you're getting older. Getting older don't have nothing to do with getting sick. You can be sick even when you are young folks. You can be sick at any age. The point that I'm making is that foreign chemicals that are not belong to your system is actually what make a person go to a stage of abnormality. So the toxin goes from your food, from what you consume, you drink, goes into your liver, and then from your liver it goes into your bloodstream, circulatory system, and from there it goes into your entire body, and you're gonna start getting some strange reaction from the human system, which is actually the inflammation, because inflammation is the response of the human immune system. That's what inflammation is. So now, when you have the toxins, every single organs is composed in a microscopic structure, composed of tissues, molecules, and a series of nucleotides on an helix. And what is happening here when you have the helix composed of the nucleotide? You have the electromagnetic field that goes around. You have one strand, like I explained last time to the congressman, about this when I was talking to him. He's going to DC. He's gonna be talking about this, and then people have to make sure that this is not something that people are watching. People that make the law are watching, and people that make the law will come after anyone who is violating the law. So I'm talking about stuff that I'm very sure that it will go through. And that congressman is a very influential congressman in the state of Ohio. And I believe that through faith, the project will go forward. For anyone who's going to violate the law, we're going to have to answer. So as I'm peacefully presenting this presentation, I would like everyone to bear with me. So any single organs is composed of tissues composed of molecules, DNA molecules, and DNA molecules are composed of helix, which are strand, and every strand have one layer of a series of nucleotide, sequence of nucleotide that are charged negatively and positively. So what happened here is that when they all come together through magnetic flux, they form what is called an electromagnetic field. That electromagnetic field have a certain frequency that identify the healthy state of the genes, of the DNA molecules. Then when all your DNA molecules are in that state, intensity, you are fine, you are healthy. Now when you eat toxins, when you have toxin in your body, what happens is that you will have an influence. You're going to be subject to the influence that those toxins will have on the normal function of those cells. So when those cells are not anymore in their healthy state, it means that intensity have changed. What happens is you're going to get sick, because they will not be producing the norm, what they're supposed to produce, like the hormones, like the biomarkers, like elements of the human immune system to battle the toxins, such as the blood cell. You're talking about the red blood cell and the white blood cell that are manufactured through the bone marrow. So if those cells are not in the healthy state at the bone marrows sections, you will not have a good production of red blood cell, which means hemoglobin, irons rich proteins that carry oxygen around the body. Now also the formation of the white blood cell that battle any inflammatory organism that exists, invader, terrorists that are in your body. Therefore you're gonna start getting sick, because your cell electromagnetic influx has changed. So this is a technology that will be coming through, and that technology is not here yet. And I believe that as God designed his structure, the right person going to bring that up when the right time arrives. And this will cure any disease around the world, any disease, whatever disease is. But it will take time, and it will take the right person chosen by God to make it happen. Despite the effort, it's all given by God. Now I wanted to go now talking about certain stuff. I have people, if you can please excuse me, and put this thing down. You're talking about certain stuff. God, the great architect of this universe, who created all matter, who made the space, who made time, who made numbers, who made names, who built the heavens, is the one who's in control. Even if today we have a technology that can cure any disease, people will have a chance to live longer, but it will not erase mortality. Mortality is a code that is belong to God only. You live longer, but when your time comes, bye-bye, au revoir, auf Wiedersehen, muchacho. Alright? And if you go to hell or heaven, it will be welcome. You see? Or sorry, when you're going to be descending, or great, when you're going to be ascending, depending on where you'll be going. You'll find out when you get there. So the point what I'm saying here is that certain people believe they know how the heaven were made. I'm here today to bring the truth. I will give you the correlation between all religions around the world. I will give you the correlation between the karma, the fate, and the dharma. I will give you the correlation between the karma, the fate, dharma, hell, and heaven. I'll give you the correlation between Christianity, Judaism, Islam, Hinduism, and Buddhism. They are all the same. And I'll go deeper in correlation of what have never been told before. This is an inspiration that comes directly from the divine core, from the heavens. And I'll be telling you today, without changing the Old Testament, the New Testament, or any other holy book. But today, what I'll be bringing up will be something that have never been spoken before. I'm not a priest. I'm not the imam. I'm not a rabbi. I'm not a pastor. I am a simple human being with humility, chosen by God for a very critical purpose in this earth. That is coming. It's still unfolding. Now let's start this. Let's start this a little bit. Glory is the God, is all glory, glory is our God, the all glory, glory is the God. Elohim and Yahweh is up there, all glory is the God. Glory is Yahweh, glory is Yahweh, glory, glory the God. So you see, today, many people are looking in the bank account. They see $1 million. They see the name out there. There's different kind of way you can reach into the heavens. You can either sacrifice yourself from the desire of your flesh to satisfy the desire of the spiritual world, to be linked into the heaven. Or either you can decide to not satisfy that spiritual desire and satisfy the desire of your flesh and stay the way you are, blind spiritually, and start blaming people around who have some spiritual knowledge. What I'm making here is that I don't feel important. I never called for this. Trust me. Normal Joe, do my normal life. Never call for this. Never, never. I don't like this at all. But now, when I go back sometime and watch those movies about all the Moses and Abraham, I realize that I'm doing the same thing like they've been doing. Please, God, take it away from me. I'm not fit to do this. The same thing. When I was watching it, I thought it was a joke. But it's not. The same thing. So what I'm saying, that the one who created you, the divine being, has not changed. You can have all fun. You can go out and club and party and all this stuff. But at the end, you're gonna have to return back home and sleep and be by yourself. You will be there facing all the walls, facing your own challenges that you're gonna have to solve. No one else will come and solve in your place. You're the one who's gonna have to get it done. God won't come do that for you. He will give you the strength and wisdom to get it done. If you mishandle your time, you're gonna be the one, bringing some issue into your progress. If you mix up time, because you didn't schedule, you didn't have any discipline to schedule your time well in order for you to proceed accordingly. So what I meant is that we always have to remember that everything that we're doing, everything that is done in this earth, are the outcome of many possibilities that has already been calculated and predetermined. I'm talking about million and billion of possibility. I mean, if you decide I'm going out when you're supposed to, they already have that possibility. They already know what's going to happen. The Holy Book, all the Holy Book will tell you what happened here on earth. No book, Holy Book, have spoken about how the supernatural world function. Many books will be talking about, our prophet or our, Messiah, God inspired from the Holy Spirit or from the cosmic forces. But no one knows how it functions. No one knows. Certain people do. And when Jesus Christ was talking about the truth, he was also talking about it. But he knew it was not the time for people to understand it. But even though he was talking about it, the truth is very complex. The truth is not only about God sitting in his chair like a pope, and he have to bring bunch of engineer and architect and mathematician to teach him, how to do stuff. No, I'm not making fun of the Pope. I'm just saying this is like a prototype or metaphor. Okay? What I mean here is that he's not only a high priest, he is the greatest engineer, a mathematician, scientist that the world will never gonna have. He designed all the universe. He made a structure and equation with all the algorithm and solutions and all possibility into infinity in accurate perfection. He got it done accordingly. So the way he made Earth and any other planet and any other universe were different from other universes that are distant from our universe, in which we don't know yet. He positioned at the primordial fault, which is during the beginning of everything, when he started all the process. When he started all the process. He created what is called the spiritual structure. The spiritual structure represents every single one of us with a specific mission. So that spiritual structure will have a journey of 2 million years according to the entire structure of the universe, starting from this universe in which you will operate and link to all the universe through energy mean. So as well as you have a molecular structure, you also have a spiritual molecular structure, because your soul that is within you represent a segment of that eternal spiritual structure. Just a segment. So when you started your journey, that was very long time ago, and your journey went through many steps, many small journeys corresponding to the spiritual genomes that represented your appearance, your incarnation on earth. And that's where incarnation exists. It's part of God's plan. It's not the evil thing or magical thing. Incarnation simply means making something into the flesh, into human. That's what it is. It's not magic. So you incarnate. That was your first time you started your journey. When God started He opened the key for the world functioning. Everything was done. We are populating the world as a recipe of that eternal journey. And the heaven and hell, the heaven are the reunion of every single generation through that eternal journey. As you have composed, you have been part of many generations. You will either be in hell or either in heaven, depending on how you have done well in that specific journey. But your spiritual core, the main soul that you have, will still continue his journey. Even if the soul that been generated for the specific journey is in hell or heaven. It is like you've been graded to put you in a test. When God made your spiritual structure in the beginning, it does have a path that correspond to a specific position in a space, in a universe, to make the entire system function the way it is designed to function. If that specific section of the entire structure have a problem, the entire universe will have a problem. That's the reason why, as he wants us to live with revelation, and Lucifer mixed up the thing because he know what he was doing. Now we live in experimentation. We all sometimes have to go off that pattern, suffer, and we have to return back to that pattern after we go through a series of tribulation and trial, because that's where we're supposed to be, in that pattern. So when you are experiencing the challenges, God is the only one who allows things to happen to you, and he gives you the trial, and he allows Lucifer to function by protecting the power that can be used against you by Lucifer. He controls that. He will not allow Lucifer to go above something that you cannot handle, because it is a test. It is a form of agreement, I can say, that he have with Lucifer. Not agreement that he sat down and said to Lucifer, now let's do this. No, agreement because this is what Lucifer wanted to do. He wanted to challenge God. He wanted to prove God that he is not the master of the entire thing. He have to partition his power so that he can command certain area, because when he was created, he reached a very high level. He knows how the universe was made. He knows how God made things, because he was the light of not only earth but many other areas. So he knew many things. But the thing with knowing something that you're part of is that you might not have the key to unlock certain secret, because the person who built it is the only one who have that key. That's what happened. Okay, so when he said he doesn't want to function like that, he want to be the master of his own section, where he have control of everything. So now earth show up for that divine purpose. The matter didn't start on earth. The matter started long in heaven, long time. The earth matter was just the manifestation of the trouble that was already over there. It was just a small segment. And it was very important. Why it was important? Because the way men used to be created was not the way we are created today, through the womb of a woman. Eve was the first one to start with that process. So that's why he have to mix up that process, because by mixing up that process, it would disturb the universe structure and create trouble. That's why you have war. That's why you have famine. That's why you have poverty. That's why you have envy. That's why you have jealousy. That's why you have murder. That's why you have all the trouble. That's the reason why. Because the mixed up of the balance the way God designed it, create many things. The manifestation of that from the supernatural world to the natural world is no other thing than danger or good. It will be good if everything is aligned accordingly. Danger if everything is off. Because the universe have to compensate in order for that to return. That energy must be compensated for the return. Example, when you move from one place to another, you're gonna use some energy. It means you're gonna lose some energy by making that movement. And a certain time you're gonna get tired if you don't get that energy back. It's the same thing. So the universe functions like that. Yeah, the universe have to have that energy back. If it doesn't have that, something need to happen. Somebody gonna have to suffer. Somebody gonna have to be killed. Somebody war need to happen somewhere. That's the way it is. And God was trying to avoid it. You're good? He was trying to avoid it. He was trying to make us live through revelation. And didn't happen that way. We already have other plan. So when God started that process of Eve, through your eternal journey that you're going through, when the time comes that it is your time in that specific section of the spiritual structure to generate that soul from the core soul, you are coming. There's problem. Depending on how your structure, the blessing, and your mission has been determined, you're gonna have problems with evil forces. Because it is a journey of traveling for that soul to enter that new inceptive being. And depending on how your mission is, first predetermined during the primordial fault, and how you have done in your previous existence, and the position of your energy patterns according to the design plan, God will allow the evil force to do something so that through your faith and determination, you go to the suffering to compensate that energy in order for you to return in the normal patterns. If you have done well, benefit will flow. But there is no loss, because the only thing you have to do is to stick into the suffering, believe and trust into the universal law, the way it is designed. You will win at the end. There is no magic about it. You will win at the end. If you stand still, you don't get discouraged. You stay tenacious. You persevere. You will reach that level. You will reach the level in which you will be aligned according to the design energy patterns as it was predetermined at the primordial fault. And then you're going to start having what you're supposed to have. Some of us have a very, very open wavelength that are immensely connected to many universe. So it does affect even people beyond this world. People like that have very critical and important missions, and not well seen by evil forces. People like that have difficulties, will have difficulties because evil forces will not let their purpose emerge. Because the purpose in this earth will affect the agenda of evil forces here. So they have to make sure that they undermine it. By undermining that person specific and critical purpose, they are undermining the existence of that person's spiritual structure in the world, in the higher sphere. And when it's done, it does affect the way God designed things, and he has to intervene. And that's the thing. And then I say again, glory is the God, it's all glory, glory El Yahweh, it's all glory, glory Elohim, it's all glory, glory the Lord, glory is the God, it's all glory, glory El Yahweh, glory Elohim, glory, glory. Now, the point is, we have a phenomenon that many people don't comprehend. It is very spectacular when you go and see people preaching and talking about stuff. They're reading about the Bible. And I say to them today that realistically, it is important to read the Holy Book. But what matters most are the application of it. Sin is not actually sin. Sin are your enhancer for improvement. What makes sin become sin is how you respond to it. It should exist. It must exist to improve you for a more higher purpose. That's the reason why God don't really look sin unless you decide not to learn from him and transform yourself from it. Because it is a path you got to go to improve yourself and to reach the internal purpose, polish yourself as it was designed to. You cannot live this journey without making mistake through experimentation, through revelation, as God wanted to do it. Yes, you can do it, because if the angel show in front of you, you have your spiritual eye open, your spiritual ear open. They say to you, hey, don't go there, this is what's gonna happen. Hey, let's show you a 7-digit computer screen in space. They tell you exactly what's gonna happen next. Okay, see all the possibility, all the algorithm, all the billion possibility that will come from all the permutation and combination. This is the result that you have. 1. So if you go there, this is what's gonna happen. Then this, no mistake. It's all right. That's the way God wanted, and that's the way we're gonna be when this earth reach the normal position in its journey that will correspond to the way of life in this earth, according to the energy patterns of both earth and humans, with respect to the entire universe. And when Jesus Christ returned, then he will be the one completing the process. It means educating people on the new word. Educating people on the new word, it means he will add into what already exists, the New Testament, the new application of law that will enlighten people to more cosmic consciousness and make them travel from earth to other planet and from earth to heaven, according to God's design and plan, and communicate. And then people on earth will be able to start helping other existing beings that are in a lower civilization. That is the way God designed his thing. This is not magic. This is not something hallucination. This is the truth. And I'm going beyond because I am in communication with those who are living in a more higher civilization and who work under the scope and the vision and order of the great Elohim Yahweh. You see how I speak? The Holy Spirit is within me right now. What do I say? Because they know what I'm saying is true. So this is the thing that I'm saying to you. Earth is moving. The energy pattern of Earth corresponds to the energy pattern of every single human being. That civilization reached by Earth will correspond to a specific position of Earth in the universe, in time. And when that time comes, we're going to have a more higher civilization. That will be the right moment for Jesus Christ to return. Because our civilization will have a more better transition with the civilization that Jesus Christ will bring in this earth. It means the technology that he will bring. It will be more easy for us to understand. Let me start again. When earth reached that position, it will correspond to our civilization, our way of life, our social regions. That civilization will be very high and will enable that generation to comprehend, to transition easier to the more higher civilization that will be brought here by Jesus Christ and the angel and other celestial being from the second heaven. Their civilization is immensely advanced. Do you know why? Because they don't function with experimentation. They reach a level that they function with revelation. And that is where we're going. We are going into a journey of revelation individually as well as earth. The generation that will exist when Jesus Christ returns will be the generation of revelation. So when he will be there, the Holy Book spoke about 1,000 years. 1,000 years will be enough for him to put in place some good establishment to regulate the ethical value and moral value in accordance to the standard, principle, and law that will be implemented. Technology, the traveling, you will not be any more human. You will be a superior essence. You will be able to travel between Earth and other planets, Earth and heavens, and communicate telepathically. Some of the Bible says something like that. Some of the Holy Book says something like that. They're talking about you're going to have a different body. You're going to have the body of Christ. That's actually what they're talking about. That, during the rapture, you're going to, the Christian will go up into the heaven, to the first heaven, and return, and so that they can get ready when Jesus Christ returns during the period of tribulation. That's what it is. There will be a higher essence, high being that can come back to the human being form and transit to the other being to be able to function in the supernatural world. That's where Earth is going. That's where we are going. And that corresponds to your eternal destination. Because your eternal destination is to make you perfect, ready for that moment. Primordial thought. Primordial mean the beginning of creation. I'm not talking about earth creation. I'm talking about when God started everything. When God was starting everything, creating I'm talking about everything. Your spiritual structure and everything, the matter, everything. That's what primordial mean. Fault mean unsatisfied feature. You are imperfect in character in your perfect creation. And God wanted you to go through revelation to become perfect, to become satisfied feature. Not in your creation. You are good the way you look. You're perfect the way you look. But you're imperfect in a feature of moral application. With respect to divinity and respect to purity. So through revelation, he knew you will get there in a more short time and easy pattern, easy path. But through experimentation, it will be a more longer journey through suffering. And unfortunately, as he gave the freedom of choice, we choose the second pattern, the experimentation one. So our journey is more longer and more tough. So that's what's going to happen then. When your body, like the Bible is spoken about, translate during the moment of rapture, and return more higher essence. We will function according to the universal laws. Everything that you want, you will have it according to God's principle, standard, law. There will no government. Everything will be operated by God. And the people that he will place for that, there will be no government by man. There will be government by the heavens. And then you will enter the heavens geo-cosmic structure. When we reach that position, we will be part in that specific time of the second heaven, part of the second heaven. So that is the pattern in which we are going. The religion that we're talking about, that people are fighting and killing themselves for, were put in place to create peace and make men believe without questioning. Because this truth I'm talking about is too much for certain people. They knew if it comes like this, in that unsatisfied feature, people will question too much. There will be too much why. So they decided you have to come with religion. Religion is more easier, you believe. Because they know they are the truth they will provide. When you reach your purity and satisfy, you understand it more easier. That is the reason why Jesus Christ is saying, Father, I can't go yet because they are not ready. And he's right, we're not ready. And that's what it means. Earth is moving, our civilization is moving. And when Jesus Christ said that in end of time, before my return, you're going to have more war, you're going to have a lot of famine, is because Earth will be going into that transformation. Into that transformation, to be brought to return to the pattern in which it was intended to be. So even Earth have a patterns, spiritual pattern to be in. When you see those war, when you see the famine, is because Earth need that energy to bound back to the pattern in which he was intended to be. It's the same principle as applied to Earth. Because Earth is also in its journey, like I mentioned before. That's why you see at this moment we have war around, killings around, and God is the one who's making those things happen. Blame not anyone. No one have power above God. He's putting the people he created on trial. He's letting Lucifer tempt the people and see which one will have the loyalty to believe into creation, to believe into himself, and that there is someone above that is always there to protect them. If you stay tenacious and still, you will overcome. But he's letting Lucifer do what he's doing in order for Earth to reach his perfect eternal position, like I mentioned, ready for the return of Christ. And he's making men in trial and suffering so that you can be back into your intended patterns as well. It is the same thing. And that entire movement of Earth affects every single continent and nations in this world. If Earth reach a certain position that's off that energy pattern as intended, trouble will happen somewhere. You will see famine, you will see war, and it go to many cycle of good time, cycle of better time, and then cycle of war for compensation, because there has been a lot of mistake made. This war is not only about what we knew Adam and Eve. Adam and Eve was just an important portion of the entire war, of the true one, because the portion of Eve was actually to mix up the core structure of the universe, the way God put it in place. Because if you have to come out of a woman's womb and you already in sin, then your energy pattern will not be aligned accordingly. If it's not aligned accordingly, you're gonna experience suffering. And when you experience suffering, Lucifer said, I got that one. So now when you start experiencing suffering, he come and start tempting you, and God allow it according to your capacity of handling it. So every challenge that you have, as painful it can be, you can handle it. God will not allow any. It can be painful that you have never seen before, and that's what it is. You will have challenges as your life is unfolding. Your life is unfolding because it is a folder. When you come into this journey, specific journey, there's a folder of your life written inside. And every time a day passes, it does unfold with what's supposed to happen to you. Everything that is written in there will happen. So that's how they can go in there and see, okay, this is the end. You have people that work on those stuff. The 1,000 years that earth would do, it will be teaching that generation how to serve God, how to be involved in technology, high technology, how to serve other planets that are in earlier civilization as we are right now. I'm bringing to you something that many people have never heard before. I'm pretty sure. But this is a complete truth. The purpose you made is an eternal purpose. It will be pretty much to do the same thing, because it is what God wants you to purify and become good at it, to serve His eternal purpose. Those that He put in a certain position of leadership were designed that way. They were designed exclusively those who last for a certain long period of time. You see people, he's in a position, they do only 1 day and 2 days, he's gone. That was not for him. For some reason, Lucifer tempted him and he thought that was his thing. And God put the trial on. And he fell in it. And he fell in it and God said, no, that's not your call. Take it away. Bring back to your normal call. That's what happened most of the time. And the people like that, in their eternal journey, will always be in places where they have to be part of decision making for people, serve people in a certain way, in leadership positions. That's why you will see many people in our generation trace back into Egypt time. Some of them are stars, some of them are leaders. And it is the same thing they will do even in the next tax. They might not be great leaders, but they will be part of it. But they're always going to start depending on how well they have done in the previous life. They must start by suffering immensely before they reach that purpose and start serving again, depending on how they have done in the previous incarnation. Your spiritual core, the main core, the core soul, is what is out there. It generates those souls that we see. And those are those souls that he generates that are judged to go either to hell or heaven. A single spiritual structure can generate millions of generations in time, and those generations will be partitioned either in hell or heaven, depending on how well that generated soul have done in his journey. That's where you have the correlation between incarnation, hell, and heaven. Reincarnation, hell, and heaven. Something that no Buddhists, no Hindus, or high-level PhD have ever found. I just brought it to you today. Some Christians don't believe in reincarnation. Some Buddhists and Hindus don't believe in hell and heaven. I just bring you the correlation today, and that's the truth. You're going to go to any spiritual leader. If he is good, if he communicates with the higher power, he will tell you that's true what this kid just said. Matter of fact, how old that kid is? 35. How does he know about this stuff? So the point is, during your spiritual journey, from your core soul, it means the main soul, the soul that was done during the primordial fold, ready to go, it is your spiritual structure, composed of a series of sectionized genomes, spiritual genomes, that will correspond to those generated soul. That every single time that your time arrive to enter earth, that generated soul will be polished and sent accompanied by protector, celestial protector, which are the angels. In that patterns of accompanying you into that spiritual portal to enter that celestial vow into the new inceptive being, they will be fighting against evil forces depending on how important your mission is on earth. Because remember, like I said before, your mission will always be the same. That it will never gonna start the same, depending on how well you have done in your previous existence. So evil forces are there. So this is not a simple Garden Adam and Eve situation. It is more deeper than that. Lucifer is not kidding. He is not playing game. He is there to take the throne of God. Do not take it as a simple thing. He tried to destroy thing to the core. For Lucifer, you are just I can say, a symptom of the bigger action. To be really honest with us, he doesn't even see us. He sees the core, the eternal journey, and we are just the consequence of that action. And many people who serve him, I want to warn you, he doesn't look you. He's looking the bigger thing. He's looking that energy pattern. As long as that energy pattern is disturbed, there will be trouble. There will be problems. And more problem mean people will be uncertain about what's going to happen. Or the market is not going well today, we don't know what's going to happen. There's war over there, people take money away. There's instability in this place, we can invest there. We just lost all the money, something happened. There's 2,000 people killed in this area, nobody travel there. There's a disease there somewhere, nobody have to go there. Everybody is in quarantine. That is what Lucifer is doing. We have to go against the people, the minority, and the people who believe in that Jesus Christ. It's blocking me to do my work at the core level, to disturb his agenda. I gotta make sure that I disturb his agenda here too. That's what it's doing. So you there that are serving, you think you're serving God, when actually you're really not. We have to be very careful on judging others. We look like our parents. We look like them because during our journey in this earth, we have to look like someone. But we are truly belong to the person who made it all. What I mean here is that every single one of us have a specific purpose, regardless of where you're from. And God will gonna want you to reach that purpose, regardless of what other people think. That's the reason why certain family they don't understand some of the folks, some of the kids. I will all respect I have, but I'm telling the truth. We have to look like someone in that journey, specific journey, because that's the way it was designed. As you say that God said, honor your father and your mother so your day can be long. You think he said that by mistake? It was a way of you compensating the people he's using for his purpose. Give them respect. At least they have done part of what I want them to do. That's why that commandment is in place. Because through that, you will be able to be disciplined to use your purpose accordingly. Without changing the purpose, because you can change it. It is done through aspiration. Through aspiration. I mean, aspiration. You are linked into it without knowing. You have more interest about something. It is them doing that over there. Because when you're laughing forward, that word, they're very busy, my friend. They have to look every single person life in this earth unfolding. And they have to make sure that it functions according to the plan. They have to look every single detail, because every single detail affects the way the energy pattern, spiritual energy pattern was structured. That is the main goal. That energy pattern must be sustained as it was predetermined by the creator of everything. And he's the one who gives command. And he sits in his chair and he's watch people that he bestowed power into do the work. And if you see someone not doing well, through his omnifunction potential, he appears to that person right away. When actually his core spirit and soul is still in that chair. That's exactly what your core soul is in the universe. When your generated soul are here doing the purpose intended. So when God sits there, he's watching everything going on. He's watching, he's sitting there, he's watching every single detail. All the angel, all the celestial forces that are doing all the technology, whatever they're doing, as God designed them to do. So he's watching. Somebody's not doing something well, he appears. So when you suffer, when you go, you think that God is not watching. No, he's watching. He's watching how everything go for you, and then suddenly he calls someone right away. Even if he doesn't have to call someone, he appears there and handle your case very quick. The genuine soul of God, when actually the core soul is still there, present. So when you see folks like Abraham, when God came to visit him, because God is a higher essence, he's not only human, he's a higher essence. It means human is within his existence, his essence. He came into that form, but his core soul was in heaven. It means at any moment he can disappear, and that's what he's been doing. When Abraham was following him, what happened? Abraham got distracted. By the time Abraham turned, he was gone, and he started talking in the air. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Omnipotent, omnifunctional, functional, omni-operational, and omnipresent. And angels also have those faculties. Unfortunately, Lucifer also have those faculties. Under God control, of course. So this is the truth. You believe or you follow. I got people telling me, this is what I've been believing before, or it's time for you to go where you came from. We are here, we don't think stuff like that. We go to church and we believe in Jesus Christ. My friend, Earth is evolving in, when I say evolving, is moving toward the predetermined destination, and God will function according to that, because Lucifer is functioning according to that. Lucifer is functioning according to the eternal purpose. God has designed everything already. That's how powerful it is. Everything was already done. Everything is already done. What we see is only maintenance. I am telling you, folks, everything is already done. God have people to protect the universe. He have people to protect you. He have people to protect every single thing. He have people to protect the evolution of technology. He have people to protect the evolution of science. Disease that you see, a disease that are put in place by Lucifer. He's the one causing those diseases. And God allowed that because he know men will overcome it, have that potential. And he allowed that to correct the energy patterns, to compensate that so that it can return into the internal pattern. It's not well seen, it's not well understood by folks. Why do God do that? Well, why do we choose first to follow experimentation? So when you answer that, you comprehend the reason why he wants us to go with revelation. He wants us to go with revelation. There's a normal pattern. So now when you follow that conception, you realize how important it is to level yourself with a good cosmic consciousness, so you can comprehend certain stuff. Comprehending certain stuff, it makes you more aware of the unseen and comprehend yourself, your inner self. When you comprehend your inner self, it allows you to be better prepared. against the enemy and understand certain phenomena that cannot be understood by a simple analogy. There are more bigger battles. I understand and I see people in the belief, and they believe, in Jesus Christ. They believe in God, but there is a more higher battle. When evil force start affecting the original structure that God put in place, God have to intervene. That is not a matter of earth. It's a matter of the entire scale of the universe. They are being that God put in place to handle those cases. They work for him. They have a patience for him, if I can say like that. When I say they have a patience for him, it means that if they decide to come here on earth, they will come here with everything. They start to do the mission here. But everything that people see is only evil. It's because some of us don't want to accept the truth. The truth is, God is not only a high priest. Everything we have, computers, cars, internet, all the mathematics and engineering, he have it over there. And it is monitored according into the plan. Matter of fact, they know what kind of technology we're going to have when we reach that destination. The technology that generation will have. And matter of fact, they already know the generation. Matter of fact, they already know the parent of those generation. That will be. Matter of fact, they already know what really gonna happen. Because like I told you, God already made everything. What the angel and other celestial forces are doing are to protect it and maintain it. Let me give you the difference between the heavens. The first heaven is more similar to earth. The second one is where you have most of the technology and everything that you can possibly see. It means the planet that had moved into the higher civilization. The third heaven is more holy. That's where you have more the angels. The second heaven, they are not called really angels, they are called celestial being, higher being, that function under the authority of God, as well as the first one. But the first one, you'll find the mix angel and those celestial beings. But the third heaven is purely angelic and spiritual. Purely religious. because that's the main core of the Holy Spirit. That's the source, the core. Even if when you go there, you see a different kind of technology, and the technology that they have over there in the third heaven is also more advanced than the one that they have in the second one, and the one that is in the second one is more advanced than the one in the first one. Indeed, you don't have any car in the third heaven. People are moving using a different form of technology. They travel by mastering the energy of the environment. That's how they travel. They move using the energy of the environment. That's how they move. They communicate the same way. They also have part over there in the third that they can use. So the people who are protecting that spiritual structure that God put in place are mostly in the second heaven. But they work together with the angelic forces because they reach the higher essence, like we will in the future. When I'm speaking today, people are going to be looking back and say, we heard somebody talking stuff like that thousands of years ago. Man, in fact, there will be people talking like me, and it will become a reality. It will become true, with no doubt, in the future. It will be referring to people like us, like me, because I'll be gone by that time. Because that's where earth will move. The technology that we're going to have will be more softer here on earth, because the technology that they have in the second heaven is they have airplane that travel in a speed close to the speed of sound, very fast, because they don't travel anymore between continents. They travel between universes. They travel between, so it go fast, immensely fast, and it's very quiet. That's the kind of technology that they reach, and our technology is going to be moving close to that, according to God's plan. Close to that, we're going to have technology. We're going to have car that drive more slower. We're going to have car that are flowing. We're going to have a form of computer that somebody can do in the air, close to that time. You're gonna have people communicating. I mean, somebody call you and your house is already connected. That's how that generation ready for the transition. Computer will be very small, flat. Phones will be more smaller, but more very powerful, disposable, closer to that form of technology. Men will start trying to create other human being through technological innovation. And that will be Lucifer walking. There will be different form of diseases that will not be similar to the one we have, that will correspond to the technology of that time. HIV will be past story. Ebola will be ancient time. I mean, when you're gonna have HIV, they're gonna be like, oh, go get a drug, and that's it. Over. There will be more challenge. There will be more tougher disease. That time is coming in generations. Some of us will reincarnate before that time. So that's why it is better to do good when you have a chance here, so that your soul, your generated soul for this specific journey, can have peace, because it is real. Your soul, your core soul, will made in resemblance of the soul of God, but with unsatisfied feature to reach divinity. So you have to go through this process. So when you do good in every generation, it gives you your chances for your next journey, because you have done well. And that's what I'm saying to those who have the possibility, who have the money, who have to help the poor, to help those who do not have. That money was given for that. That money was not given to saturate your bank account and look at it and say, I'm rich. It was not made for that. I'm not against those who have the money, but I'm telling them the truth to save their journey and their spiritual well-being. I'm not saying that you go to your bank and take all your money and give it away, but I'm saying make sure that you impact people in a constant basis. That's the reason why you have to do good, because if you don't, you're gonna be going off your intended patterns, because you will not be doing what you're supposed to be, you were destined to do. So when you do that and your time come end for this journey, your next one, if you have not reached the final destination, you will start reverse to extreme poverty in order for you to reach that level. That's the reason why when you see people, don't judge them, because you don't know when they started. They're there paying their due. Just leave it like that. Don't start saying he have seen too. You don't know nothing about their life. Just leave them alone. If you have something, help them and move forward. Don't stay there, try to speculate, stay stuck. No, you don't know nothing about their life. And I'm telling you that's true. Because you don't know, you were not there during the primordial fourth creation. You don't know what they have done in the previous existence. You don't have no clue. They are there acting the way it was designed. And they have to compensate for what is due. If you can help them out. If you cannot help them, the best thing to do is to be quiet and move forward into your own problems. Because I believe you do have your own problems. Carry on. And this is the truth I'm speaking to people. I'm not here to try to tell you how intelligent I am. I never called for these. I never called for these. But when your destiny call you, you want or not, you're going to answer. Because it will make sure that you answer. That is the way God structured the entire thing. That's the way structure. The thing of fasting. Fasting is important. Fasting is important to finding the way to cosmic consciousness. Fasting help you to build a spiritual wealth. Fasting help you to strengthen your faith. Because, sorry about that, because I'm talking and singing at the same time. It's kind of very funny, isn't it? So the point is, fasting will make you more in contact with the spiritual world. That's what it does. Because it considers food as toxins in terms of purity. That's what it is. So the less you fast, the less you eat, and the more you fast, the more you have chances to communicate, to be in touch with the spiritual world. That's why somebody like Jesus Christ, he went to the desert 40 days in order for him to connect. And I can assure you, the Prophet Muhammad did the same thing. I'm not a Muslim, but I study literature. Moses, the same thing. Many people who observe, who created religions, went to fasting. I believe even Buddha did. So Earth is in a journey. The war that you see are in the compensation that must happen for the past due in order for Earth to be back into the intended pattern as it was predetermined. That's why people must advocate for peace at all times. The suffering that you see on people, it is to correct people into the intended pattern so that they can realign and synchronize with the energy of the universe as it was predetermined and intended. That's why people must do good to each other and forgive and move on. People must interact with others without precondition. One directional love to each other, moving forward. Forgive and move forward, because life is more bigger than what we see. Big car, power, people putting red carpet, honor, all this stuff. Honestly, if you look the big screen and big structure, you'll be very sorry. That is not really big importance to those folks over there. As well as we are important. For them, it looked like they're going into the kindergarten. Seeing them process and work based on the level of education and technology they have. I'm talking the truth. I'm not trying to look us down, because I'm part of it too. But I'm telling you what it is. We are growing into our life, into our technology, to reach their level. Their level is so advanced in a way that if they start telling you, you will probably give everything you have and start living your simple life. And that's why you have to believe. And even if you don't want to believe in Jesus Christ, believe in the Creator. They believe on the Creator, because He's the one who made it all. He created everything, every single law that I apply in the universe. And those are the law that Jesus Christ is going to implement for 1,000 years of ruling. It will be a complete transformation of earth. And people will be able to see their generation from the beginning of the primordial fold into the heaven. You'll be able to say, this was my generation, this was my generation, this was my family, this was my family. Because you will know the truth. You'll be open to the higher knowledge. That's what earth, that's the level in which earth is moving. And earth will only move into that through the assistance of the people in a higher intelligence, the higher civilization, according to God's plan and design. As He predetermined it, He's going to make it that way. That's what God have done. And that's the reason why we should be happy with what we have. Because what we have is what we should have to reach where we should go. We should love what we have, including what we do not have, because what we do not have is what is part of what we do have. We have to be happy about what we have, including what we do not have, because what we do not have is part of what we do have. We call it the logic of reasoning and understanding. You have nothing, it's because it's what you're supposed to have to move into the next step according to God's design. You just have to endure, persevere, and be tenacious. If you have what you didn't supposed to have. You will suffer into what you didn't supposed to have move away from you. Those are the law, and that's why people sometimes have difficulty. They don't understand where it comes from. You are with the wrong partner. You got a car that was not planned for you because they know the money you make. You spend money on stuff that you're supposed to have. And that's the problem, why you have some deficiency. You are dealing with wrong partner because you force that relationship it wasn't supposed to have to happen. They were not intended for you. And the way you force it, it's the same way you're going to end. When you force that relationship, that is the same thing. So you have to be happy because what you have is what is blessed, including what you do not have. So even if you have nothing, that nothing is blessed because that's exactly what you're supposed to have to move into the next step with no problem. If you can believe living with only $1 and structure your life, structure your entire life on that $1, you tell me how you will be in trouble sleeping and waking up tomorrow and start panicking. What happened? If you know you made all your schedule in that $1, it means you went and purchased stuff that costs less than $1. You didn't go where you don't want to drive. You didn't go where you didn't supposed to go. You didn't purchase stuff that you didn't have to purchase. You told me how you're gonna be surprised that $1 is gone. You now minus $2. Actually, you get arrested because you can pay that $2. It's minus, you don't have it. Now there's a bond of $500, so you minus $502. So that's the kind of problem. So be blessed and pray for what you have, because what you have is exactly what you're supposed to have, based on the intended energy patterns of your specific journey, of the whole eternal journey of your spiritual core, soul structure. When you are with the right partner, you see how everything moves smoothly. They know this is the partner in which you're gonna have kid with. You get another a wrong partner, it's not designed for you. You're gonna see some trouble going on there. Some trouble going on for separation. You force that. If you really sit down, you'll be like, yeah, I did. And when you end up in time, you say, where were you? I hope I should have known you long time ago. No, because it was not the right time. You have to go into all that process to compensate the energy pattern of your previous existence, in order for you to find perfect harmony with the intended pattern, so that everything can start moving well for you. and you meet that right person as it was intended. Whatever you should have done, you should have not met that person. Even if you have met that person, you're going to have problem until the right time come, and then you're going to have peace. Those are the law. Everything is about the harmony of the universe. Turn around it. God don't play with it. So He's going to do everything possible to keep it that way, because that's what maintains the universe the way it is. That's why you're going to have a rich person sitting there having a yacht and all this stuff. I benefit for that too. You can live peacefully in a blessed nation and don't have to worry about terrorism. And other people have to live in the other piece of world and start hiding because they'll be killed. So it is a very critical and analytical situation. But you have to be able to believe in your inner self, your inner potential to overcome stuff. And I am talking to those who have the money. If you are not married yet, or if you have problems with finding the right partner, this is what I am instructed to tell you. Look for what aspire you. What aspire you are the connections that come from above. It's not always a person that have to come from your surrounding. It's not always a person that have to come from your inner self, inner circle, or your inner self. I can call it that, your self-choosing or something like that. It can be a John Joe who's paying his due to the universe out there, begging money on the street, until they reach that right moment to meet you, who just finished to pay your due to the universe by not getting the right partner, even though that you have the money, so that you guys can be together, and then things gonna start working well, and you'll be surprised how that dude who was begging money on the street start evolving like he just walking above the water, because the right moment has arrived and things are multiplying. And you start multiplying your own money that you were losing by going through all the divorce. And that person, John Joe on the street, walking or having problem, have immense knowledge, bring up business, good at something, multiply your money, become billionaire. So that is what I'm telling you. Love should not only be looked through the physical. It's more deeper than that. It's spiritual. Energy patterns. When you look a person like those who are in the second heaven, who reach that higher technology and higher civilizations, the angels, when they look, they know the energy pattern you were designed to be with this person. It will not last long. It will last long. I'm not talking about in the bed. I'm talking about relationship wise, because I know what you guys are thinking. So they know the relationship will last long, or the relationship will not last long. So if the relationship don't last long, Don't have to waste your time for that. So relationship is not like about, the guy look good or the woman look good and stuff. Many people think that. It's more than that. You are with the wrong person, you bringing problem into your life. You have the wrong thing, you bringing problem in your life. You were living peacefully, you got the wrong thing, problem started. Since I started living with this person, I started having problem. I don't know where this come from. Okay, let's go apart a little bit. And your life come calm. Everything's perfect. I love that person. You come back again, problem. And that's what you see people sitting there and say, you know what, it's better for us to go apart. Sometimes you don't even know what they do when they say that. It's actually the way it was designed. And one of both person, they're gonna go out and they're gonna meet the right partner. They'll find good harmony and have kids, and you're gonna see like, how did that happen? No, it was not designed for you. It was designed for that man or for that lady. So this is a teaching that is true, will always be true. Don't only look through the physical aspect. The most important is the spiritual aspect. Because if the spiritual aspect is mixed up, forget about it. It will be trouble. Even if there is money involved, million, you're going to end up there with one leg. Either you're going to be in jail, either you're going to be going from court to court. Because the person going to make sure that you damage, because it was not the right person. It is something that I want people to know, because I see people out there looking at me thinking that, oh, this guy. No, let me tell you, God designed each one of us during the primordial fault, and he designed what is called the core soul through a spiritual structure pattern in which our journey is established. And through that spiritual structure, there are sections that derived code, sectional soul, that will go into a journey, specific journey that have a beginning and end. And you will be doing that purpose in that journey. And there is a partner that corresponds to your energy patterns accordingly, that is out there. If you get the one that do not correspond to the energy pattern, what will happen? Dispelment, not attraction. You can be physically attracted because of our flesh, because of our ego, which is not the true self. But at the end, the spiritual will win. It means the truth will rise from inside. I never really like you. I never really like you too. The next time you know, luggage is out and the person's gone. End of the story. Now, sometime you can end up with a couple kids with that person. It was also intended that way. It means you're supposed to meet, but in a short period of time. That is the compensation from the previous existence. In order for each one of you to go to the intended pattern and improve yourself and earn more knowledge to be good for that higher purpose, you'll be more wise. And then when one of you go apart, you're going to meet the right one. And the right one right now, you're still going to have family, and now you have to take care of the other kids. Because those other kids was also intended for you, because the energy pattern was crossing your energy pattern somewhere, and the energy pattern of that woman that you meet for a small period of time was crossing just a little bit. But the energy pattern of those kids was crossing her energy pattern and your energy pattern for a very long period of time. But her energy pattern was crossing yours a little bit. So you're going to meet her, you're going to have just for a small period of time. You're going to have kid, the energy pattern cross both of you for a long period of time, because you have kid in this specific journey. It's for a long time, into the end of the journey. Sperm donation, the same thing. The energy patterns of those kids are crossing your energy patterns, but the energy pattern of the woman is not crossing your energy patterns, but the energy patterns of the kid that is crossing your energy pattern is crossing her energy pattern. Therefore, you will not have sexual intimacy or meet each other, but through donation and chance and luck, she will have your sperm and have your kid. That is how it functions. Now, her energy pattern will meet with the energy pattern of somebody that you know. And that's how you'll be informed about your kid. The wealth that we have today, and people have today, is based on how it was determined during the primordial thought. Someone like, I take an example of Buffett or Bill Gates. An example. Okay, I'm not after him. I can do nothing about him. I just want people to know that God gave him his wealth. That's what it is. In this specific journey, he just have to do good for the next one. He was born, made for that specific purpose, to bring a technology in that specific time. Like I told you in the beginning, there will be a person that is not born yet, but they know exactly that will be coming with a specific technology that will improve the technology that we have today in front of us. But it will be based on this. It might even be the same Bill Gates in his future reincarnation in time to his mission. It can be from different region of the world. It can end up to be any gender, any race. Different name, different look, kind of similar. Because the blessing that God gave in the beginning is eternal, like I told you. The person will be doing pretty much the same kind of stuff to reach perfection. So what God designed you to do is what you will do. And the more your duty will be, the more critical it will be against evil force, the more challenge you're going to face. Because evil force don't go against flying papers. Not too much important. He go against people that have some critical purpose, that have a direct impact on his agenda. He will attack you with all the force. From the moment you even enter this world, before you even enter this world, when you're traveling in the spiritual portal to enter this world, before you even got conceived, because it's all pyramid, it's all myths. The battle that exists in that world, you have no clue to enter this world. The battle that exists, depending on how important you are. That Lucifer said, no, I don't want that person here. Make him wait. And God said, nada. You go ahead. And you are tried before you even got into your mother womb. You're already tried by Lucifer. You already tried. You come up to there, Lucifer is watching you very carefully. And God is there controlling. God is managing Lucifer hammering on you. He knows you can manage it if you can only believe in yourself. And I can promise you, as you grow and you keep overcoming obstacle placed by Lucifer, he gonna appear. He gonna tell you where you think you're going. He gonna challenge you. Either you're gonna be on your dream, he gonna appear. Because he gonna wait the moment where you already reach the normal consciousness to understand what's going on. So do not believe that everything is just simple. We are all here that we walking out there. Everybody is paying his due according to the plan. Yeah, I get the kid. Those came with this and that. That was Edu. You look closely, you find happiness from it. You derive good from it. You derive good from it. Those are circumstances that every single person is facing in this world. Yes. Other people are facing more harsh challenge, more heavy challenge that it takes courage to overcome it. It takes immense courage to challenge it and to go above it. There is a God that exists. Those that are within Lucifer influence for wealth, it is God that is allowing that to happen. It tests you. But Lucifer will only give you what you already have, what was already given to you by God. It doesn't invent anything. But what it does, he makes you think that it is him, so you own him, because he brings it into your life in a more explosive fashion. You are known by everyone around the world. It's because of his work. He's right, because his work is more faster. It can affect people to love you, to share you. When they heard your name, ooh, everybody's dancing around. But that's actually the blessing that God has given. So he take it away and say, I'm the one who gave it to you. But you know why? It's because when you pray, it will take a high capacity for a person to reach that kind of level in order to control many spirits around the world, unless it reached that specific time and moment when it was designed to be. And then you cannot serve to God. That's where that law is applied, truly. Because what happens is, when you reach a level of cosmic consciousness, you start understanding that it's just a liar. You can get off. You can get out. It's either death or extreme poverty. Or either you take what you can get and live your simple normal life with your couple million. You cannot serve God when you have in possession something that is belong to Lucifer. God will tell you, give it back to him. This is the truth. If you have those millions because you took his path and now change your path, God is always there accepting. That's fine. But he will tell you, give that money away, so that Lucifer don't have anything to hang on you. That's why you see people sometimes they stay like that. Will I continue to live my normal life and my name is gone? This is what Lucifer gonna do. He's gonna make sure that even your name is gone. It means that he's gonna create problem into your name. He try to defame your name. So even your name, so it means that you don't have money, but at the same time he's going after your name, because of him your name was higher. So now your name have to go down too. That's where they start reaching high challenge, high problems. The best thing to do to challenge Lucifer when you are in that position is to become spiritual like him and start praying. The first thing you got to do, you move away from that and you retain only what you have worked hard. You don't use his name anymore. You don't use his incantations anymore to make your name famous. You don't use an incantation anymore to sell a lot of products. That's giving his money away. And you contain with what you have earned accordingly. And you separate yourself away from that. That's how you will have a chance to survive and to maintain. And then now when you go into the ordinary path, you become very spiritual. Because this is what's going to happen. If you're not spiritual and you don't pray, Lucifer going to make sure that he put problem into your life in a higher intensity, because he just lost a person. He doesn't like it. He want to put problem in your life so he can put you in panic mode. And when you're in panic mode, what is the option? You're more likely to return back, because you're in panic mode. But when you realize that you can live with $1, you're going to think, that's another crazy Jesus Christ right there. Let me get the heck away from these suckers. That's exactly how I think. That's exactly how this talk. He have all the crazy thing you can ever imagine. So gotta be very very brilliant in what I just said, because what I say is the truth. You face those kind of stuff in your life. Nothing never end up well with him. You're always gonna be losing. But with God, if you stay tenacious and you pay back your due based on your past incarnations, you wait for the right time when your energy pattern return into the intended patterns, you'll be fine. Not only you'll be saving this generated soul from the core soul to go to heaven, but as well as you'll be building a good dharma for your next reincarnation if you have not reached the final destination yet. So you have to do good. I can help many people who have wealth, who have less spiritual wisdom, because I believe that I know a lot about that word. I can help many people. There are many people out there who are struggling and they don't understand many concepts. What I just explained to you, even a priest or pastor, imam or whatever cannot explain it to you, because these can only come from the Holy Spirit. It's not written in any book. Or either people who study a knowledge of the world beyond, but those are people that do not publish their stuff. It's only through invitation, or either they know you, or either they provide you the services, high cost. The information that I'm giving you is high cost. People who knows what I'm talking about, they're gonna be asking questions where I got all that information. That costs too much money. So I can help a lot of people. A lot of stars are there, people who have the money. I can mastermind the way you live, the way your wealth come, the way you can monitor your wealth, from talking about your previous existence to your next one, how you have to do stuff, talking about your generated soul, heaven, hell, and your next role, which is the same, that will be the same but will not start the same. You know, if you have not managed well your previous reincarnation. So take what I just say and know that's the truth. I didn't discard the Bible away. I added into the Bible what should be added to build awareness. For blinded believers, you have to believe knowing the truth. And the truth is what I just told you. You have to do good. You do bad on people, it is that person that you are hurting is paying his due. But you are going away from the intended pattern by hurting that person. And when you go away from your intended pattern by hurting that person who is paying his due, you're going to have to compensate that energy to return into the intended pattern by something else. Maybe you're going to have something, that's for sure. So that's why you have to be careful not to respond into the revenge, because revenge are the temptation from the trial that you're in. Somebody did something bad to you, it is God who allowed that to happen because it is a trial. And then not through that trial, Lucifer is saying to you, what you waiting for? Who is that person to come and talk to you like that, to treat you like that? Do something about it. You know, so that's the kind of stuff. Revenge, immediate revenge. Who he think he is, we're gonna show him that he's nothing. That's not God. If you go to church and believe like that, I'm telling you, it is Lucifer sitting down with you and putting those lies on your head. And because God is not responding to you, you think you're right. No, it is a mistake. Do not respond by anger or to revenge. That is not God's philosophy. That's not God's standard. That's not God's principle. That's not God's law. God's law, principle, and standards are love, compassion, acceptance, forgiveness. That is God's characteristic. And people who stand there and say, I was raised this way here, you don't belong to here, that is satanic inclusion in your brain. God moved a person to point A to point B for a reason, with a purpose. He doesn't make any mistake doing that. If that person is there, it's because he have a place there. Unless you open your eyes and believe in God with true facts, you will never understand your surrounding. But if you do that, open your eyes and trust in God, you will understand the true purpose of everyone, including the person that you don't want to see. Adversity should not be a dilemma, because it leads into diversity into a certain point where people have to find common ground for a more comprehensible terrain. where people can live in peace and understand each other. But if you stand into your comfort zone, you will be lacking something that God has put in your place. And he come up to the principle to say, you risk not, you will also lack reward, because you refuse to accept inclusive idea that are different or adverse to yours, that can be complementary for improvement. So that's the reason why we have to be very careful when we start doing saying stuff, because you're gonna learn from it. I'm talking about learning. I'm not talking about disciplining. I'm talking about you're gonna learn from any inclusive idea. You will learn from any inclusive idea. Either you don't like it or either you like it. There's always something you're gonna learn from it that will make your understanding better or improve. So we have to really build humility, because that's the core principle of everything. Many people claim about humility, they don't. They're all fakers from outside, when actually God knows who they are. I go to church every day. I'm a good person. I used to go to church and I used to see people there. My family's been Christian for more than 30 years, and I used to be there, go to church every morning. Why, that I was always going to church on Sunday. I used to be in the Baptist church and also the Catholic church. Matter of fact, I also went to a Jehovah's Witnesses church, and I also know a Muslim who used to teach me about Islam. So I know well about God. You're gonna find all those kind of folks around the world. They could be talking stuff. They don't even know what they're talking about. It's not because you went to all those churches and all those places that you believe that you know about the word. You know about the truth. I have nothing to do with it. You have to have a seat and think, will I have done well to other people what I would like to be done into myself? If you respond to that question well, you will know who you are. Somebody else don't have to come and tell you who you are. Do I treat that person well? Is it yes or no? No. So I have to approve something on me. True self. No, yes. That's how it come up to us. Yeah, I was right. I was very right, because I want people to treat me like that. Good thing is, I've been here for years. I gotta do what I gotta do. You're gonna hear a lot of stuff like that. Yeah, you gotta do what you gotta do, including what you didn't supposed to do. It's part of what you're supposed to do, or it's part of what you gotta do. Do nothing. Very simple. Because do nothing is part of what you gotta do. And that's completely true. It's part of that domain. I gotta do what I gotta do, including nothing. So you don't have to revenge. It's a choice. It's a selfish choice. It's an ego choice. It's a choice of flesh, and that's what it is. Because every one of us believe that we are good. And that's what the high philosophers say: the master become the slave of the slave, and the slave become the master of the master. Because at a certain extent in life, both depend each other. And when both depend each other, you're going to become a slave of your slave. And your slave will become your master. Because without your slave, when I say slave, I'm talking about the person that you're depending on. You're depending on someone. You can bypass that person. You completely depend on that person. You become his slave. And that person, because you depend on him, will become your master. So you got to know who you are and self-derive the truth from it and make a right determination decision, which will sometimes isolate you, will sometimes leave you by yourself in one path, but you got to do it because that's actually the truth of what you got to do. Not the got to do of the got to do of your self ego. So I believe that I've covered pretty much most of the information that I believe people should know. So people know how to contact me. They can go into my website, www.NGOH Medical Foundation. It's also called now the CAMFIT Global Consulting Inc. for medical, pharmaceutical, and innovative technology. Like I mentioned before, I'll be working on building a team for medical innovation from a technology that have never existed here. Pharmaceutical, the same thing, and medical, the same thing. If I work hard and have the aspiration from the higher intelligence and higher being, as I believe that will be my destiny, or it is my destination, or my higher purpose, I will do good for earth like I've been doing, and I will serve the person who created me and sent me here in this earth to do what I'm supposed to do, or what I gotta do. So with capital 1 in my pocket, I'm sorry, if it's capital 0, I need to add 1 on it. So with that 1, I will be able to do some more work and actually have the real work. Do some real work. Yeah, I'll be doing real work. Yeah, you stay there doing your real work, watching people doing nothing, or doing the real work. Is that the real work? Doing what you're doing? You tell me. So that's what I'm going to be doing around the world, serving people, and with my faith and trust in the great architect of this universe, the higher power, the higher intelligence. It's called Elohim Yahweh. So without further ado, go to my website. You know how to contact me. It is a 501c3. Every billionaire, every millionaire you invest in my company, God will bless you and everything you possess. I am not talking the talk, I am talking the meaning. And I'm saying that again. Any person who's going to donate money to the Charity Medical Foundation will be blessed by God. Every person who's going to be donating money into this charity will be blessed by God from generation. Everything you possess will be blessed in addition to what you already been blessed. I know certain people are laughing, but I know that already, that certain people are laughing. But let me tell you, I don't speak blindly. And I give you a tax. If you listen to what I said, you want to donate money, you can call me. And I will invite you for a prayer. A prayer in which I will ask you to write your own prayer. And I will focus on that prayer, and you will see the manifestation of the Holy Spirit around you. I mean, you will see the Holy Spirit touching you, just to prove you that what I say is true. I'm not talking in vain. I'm saying you want to contact me, you go to my website, go to contact me or contact us, my homepage, or you're going to see the slide, and you can contact me by phone or by email. You find me. You call me, you come, we have a prayer. Don't take too long. You'll be the one asking me to start the prayer, because the energy will be overflowing. And therefore, it will be up to you what you want done it. That is the challenge I'm giving to folks. I'm putting the challenge there. Everyone, I pray. And if you have a disease, the Holy Spirit will be touching you into that area. Anything, you come and call me. Do not try to ask why the Holy Spirit have not done good for you. No, everybody have a purpose. What I'm doing, it is my purpose. It is my payback due. Like I mentioned before, I speak in accordance to stuff. So don't ask question for it. It's not your concern. Like I said before, if you see somebody down the street doing his due, if you can help, help him. If you cannot help, stay silent and move on. That's how life is. And that's the challenge I'm giving you. So you can also reach me at YouTube, actually, yeah. Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram. I have to fix some issue with Instagram. G+, Google+, I report, and many other social media that you might know out there. I'm there. Alright? So that's my channel. I just don't talk in vain, my friend. And I give a challenge to every wealthy person around the world. You contact me. You do what you gotta do. I reach your place. You write your prayer, and I do the prayer in tranquility and serenity. You have to have your heart open. Don't try to test me, because when you start testing me, God will not manifest, because you will not be willing to accept His work. Be honest and be truthful from the inside, and you will see the power and glory. And I'm also going to be telling you the same thing, because I don't going to move myself to work with evil people. Jesus Christ did it to Lucifer. It is written. I don't gonna deal with you in this contest. I don't have time for it. So only you truthful. If you're truthful with yourself, you believe, you call me. Because unless that is done, you'll be blocking the procedure. All right. So give me a call, and you see the manifest. I'm not the priest, I'm not the pastor. I am an anointed person chosen by God to do His critical purpose, special purpose, in which I myself do not know yet. And what I'm doing at this moment are only the symptom of that. Only the symptom. It's not even the true thing. So I'll be welcoming you, my friend. Before next time, Gabriel and Icon of the Charity Medical Foundation and International Trade Incorporated. Holy is the God, is holy, holy is the God. Holy is the God. Holy El Yahweh Elohim. Holy is the God. So have a blessed Sunday, and I'll see you next time. Don't forget to visit my website and start donating your money. Okay, it will be for a good purpose. You can follow that on the IRS site tomorrow with my agency name, and they will give you all the report. Thank you very much, and have a blessed Sunday and blessed Labor Day. I'm assuming that you're working and you're gonna have Capital One in your pocket. Save one for me, because I need it for the poor. Gabriel and Daikon. Happy Dezin, muchacho. Au revoir and à plus.